Hey everybody, it's Tripl-L here to talk about Jobless Reincarnation, the final couple episodes. Hey, welcome. So, very quickly before we begin, if you're wondering where to pick up reading Jobless Reincarnation, so with these episodes 10 and 11, those are the ones we're talking about, this content is from Volume 3. So if you want to pick up reading Jobless Reincarnation, you can go to Volume 3, maybe read through Volume 3, but if you just want to continue where the story was, just go to Volume 4. Let me see if I can get a better image here. Yeah, that's Volume 4. Pretty cool. But yeah, that's pretty much what you have to do. I have a link down below to Volume 3 and 4 if you want to continue the story that way. Anyway, we're going to be chatting about Jobless Reincarnation, episode 10 and 11. This is not a final series review, this is a review of just these two episodes together. So the episodes pretty much cover the adventurer portion where Rudy forms a new party and it shows how they go about forming that party. And then the final episode is showing the little trials and tribulations that come about with having that party, the extortion, Ruijerd revealing himself, and some things that happen with Rudy. Now, when you're looking at the episodes, first off, worth pointing out, this is very irregular for a finale, but Jobless Reincarnation is irregular in its story structure compared to the modern light novels. Jobless Reincarnation is more of a slice of life, and this is where you could definitely see that. It's also a little bit of an exploration type story. You can definitely see that here. That's why the ending isn't, it's not there was a monster fight in episode 11, but it's not a conclusive ending. It's not like an exciting ending like the bombastic endings that you would have gotten in Misfit of Demon King Academy. But that's just showing you Jobless Reincarnation is from a time before the standards were set for a lot of light novels. So keep that in mind. Now, when you're looking at these episodes, I think the big thing here really is Eris's relationship with Rudy, and to some degree Ruijerd, specifically how she believes in Rudy so much. Mind you, she was wrong. Well, her belief was misplaced for some spots, but the point here is to see how she's grown to really believe in him. And the second thing that really makes the episode interesting is that we have a rehash of Rudy running in with reality. If you compare episode 10 and 11, the episodes that this compares best to are the episodes where Eris was kidnapped, because it's the same story beats, but there's a critical difference with the story beats. So just a quick reminder. During the Eris episodes, Rudy runs into the same problems he ran into in episode 10 and 11. First, in the Eris episode, at the end, he came face to face with the harsh reality that people die in this world, that people can be killed. We remember this moment as Ghislaine had chopped someone's head off, and he had a little bit of a freak out when he saw all the blood. And then the other thing was Rudy was playing around with the kidnapping situation until he realized this is actually really real. So when you look at those two story beats and you look here, that's what we have again. Rudy here is continuing here where he's having his little issue with the death thing. And again, remember, Rudy has the sensibilities of a Japanese man. So he has this issue here. And then the other critical issue is, of course, when Ruijerd just really reams him for, for playing around too much with that snake. So, this is pretty hard to watch, but needed. Now, what makes this really interesting is that usually you don't try to linger on the same story beats. The thing that Jobless Reincarnation did here to make this rehash more interesting was that the element that's worth looking at is specifically, and I apologize if I get his name wrong because I always forget his name, but Ruijerd, or this, yeah, you know who I'm talking about. It's the guy holding up Rudy. He is the critical element to differentiate what's going on with these episodes, because in the previous one, Rudy's penalty was, or rather, the one chastising Rudy was Rudy himself. And Rudy is relatively easy on himself. But this time, Ruijerd is there, and he is constantly there as the counter to Rudy's ideas. And this is where it becomes much more critical. Ruijerd is the one that makes it feel more real, because he's flat out calling him out for being stupid. And this is something that he did not get. That's why you could argue that it's okay to keep Rudy making the same mistake. It's because last time he wasn't properly punished for it. This time someone's telling him he's stupid. So when you look at that, do compare those two moments, because again, the the thing that makes this one stand out is specifically the person who is there to chastise him, and that's something that Rudy definitely needs. If you do notice on that previous, in episode 10, when he was saying that you shouldn't kill, it was Ruijerd just flat out telling him, like, I don't understand. And that was also really interesting, because Ruijerd comes from a very different mentality. So it's actually pretty cool how the author conveyed that disconnect between two people. And also worth pointing out is that the story arc here is Rudy and Ruijerd coming to understand each other. And when you have when you have a situation where Rudy's established flaws are coming up again, and that is the point of conflict, preventing these two from understanding each other, and then they eventually quash it. It is a relatively satisfying story arc. So just to point it out here, right? This is roughly around, yeah, it was roughly around here. Actually, no, I'm going a little bit too far. Yeah, like it was roughly around here, right? That's a beautiful image. That's a beautiful image showing that they've come to understand each other. So that when you look at the at Volume 3, the main underlying current of Volume 3 is these two guys coming to understand each other. Pretty awesome. Was it solid? Was it cathartic? For me personally, not the most cathartic. I think you know, I would criticize reusing the element. Like, intellectually, you can understand what was going on. I would criticize it only because it's not very striking. It's not it's a little, like, I've seen Rudy have a freak out face before. I understand that this is part of his character flaw. Again, because it's not new and exciting, that's I think why I'm a little bit underwhelmed by it. And reasonably, Ruijerd himself too. I'm a little like, he's pretty aggressive. He's definitely very aggressive, and that kind of throws me off a little bit. I find it a little bit harder to connect with Ruijerd just because he's so alien to me, and I think that's again one of the things that's kind of just bringing me down. But on an intellectual level, taking away the emotional response, intellectual level, I think you can chat about why this works. And I think there's also, again, a lot of interesting discussions that could be had. Now, there's other moments in the episode. I have a few more things filtered out here. Let's see what I can find. Yes, the extortion portion. The extortion portion, as an emotional hook, it really actually made me feel something. The guy was being a giant dick, and I think the part that I really enjoyed was seeing the people cower. Yeah, that part just made me feel... That made me feel something, legit. Just seeing them cower like that. I kinda hope... I know that they were stealing pets and all that, and I know, like, you know, not the best people in the world, but actually I kind of hope they're okay after that. I felt bad for them. That was really well done for me personally, and I did like seeing the horse guy taken down. Also worth pointing out that I really enjoyed seeing, well, so many different kind of demon folk. The other thing here was when Rudy was prepared to wipe out that town to save Eris. I thought that was an interesting, drastic escalation. But I think it just goes to show where exactly Rudy is in this whole little relationship. So the reason that's good is because this is a very strong emotional response to Eris, who has otherwise been having strong emotional responses to Rudy early on whenever she's defending him. And again, the big one here is when like, Eris doesn't really say anything when Rudy's in the wrong, which is good, but you can tell she wants to. But it's a tough spot for Eris just because she also likes Ruijerd. When it comes to Eris's depiction throughout the episodes, I think they did a really good job. With Ruijerd's thing about people being warriors versus children, I understand it. I think the way he is willing to apologize when he understands things in his term, I think that's also really good. The depiction of Ruijerd, this comes more from the narration. This comes from the light novel, but it's still pretty solid. Good on them for doing it in general. Yeah, this is just one of those good moments for Eris when she's telling Ruijerd off. But overall, yeah, solid, right? Solid, intellectually solid, I believe. I do think, you know, like, for the emotional response, maybe not everyone would jump to it, but then again, Mushoku Tensei isn't really about getting sensational emotional responses. If you notice, Mushoku Tensei's style is a little bit more down to earth. It's a little bit more grounded. It's a little bit more about the shock of things, and you can definitely tell that in a few spots. So really stylistically, we shouldn't be expecting anything explosive from Mushoku Tensei. Its excitement comes in another form, and this is partly owing to the fact that it's a slice of life primarily, with a few fantasy undertones in it. But overall, when I'm looking at episodes 10 and 11, I'm gonna keep the review a little bit short, just because I'm a little bit, I don't have that much time, and really the episodes are really easy to understand. But they are solid pieces of work. I guess the other thing that's worth talking about is the fight animation. Like the fight animation, I mean, come on, it was good. It was good. Let me look at that, right? That was good. I don't really have anything else I can say about the fight animation. I did like the creature design, and I guess it's worth pointing out that Eris is getting stronger. But yeah, overall, solid stuff. And again, the end of the episode was about them making better meat. Oh, this is a funny scene. This is 100% a funny scene. Yeah, no, that was... Come on. Yeah, no, that was hilarious. Yeah, no, I think solid stuff overall. The most interesting thing is, of course, the rehash of the previous arc, and this time actually getting Rudy to learn something. And yeah, I'm excited for the next season. We're going to be getting a season 2. I'm excited. I want to see Mushoku Tensei fully animated. I think it deserves it. It's been long enough. Let's get it fully animated. Guys, let me know what you thought down below. I know this one's a little bit shorter, but I will be doing a... Well, I'll be seeing if I can do a proper review at a later date. But I have a giant backlog of reviews. Anyway, guys, let me know what you thought down below. And until next time, I hope you have an absolutely great day.